Now to more breaking news. A violent night in Houston, a busy night for police. We are tracking news of at least 7 people shot in 6 different incidents. 3 people were killed.
Murder and mayhem play out across our city, and it's just a Tuesday night. A sign of the times. A warning to us all.
Units responding to cover suite. Be advised we have a female profuse bleeding chest.
The day before, this horrific scene plays out in Baytown at the Comfort Suites.
So our officers go upstairs and they actually find the suspect sitting out in the hallway and the victim laying in the doorway, bleeding profusely.
Her name was Katie Houck, a mother of 3 kids, all with special needs. The month before, she had shown up with a black eye. Her family was already worried.
You could never talk to her without him being around.
He had control over her.
Yeah, he dominated the whole thing. And he wouldn't let us talk to her without him being there. So we knew something was wrong.
We have a 100-kilo female, approximately 15 stab wounds.
She was stabbed multiple times. It was a pretty bloody and gruesome scene, I can tell you that.
Lifeline tried to save her, but she didn't make it. And this is the guy Baytown police put in jail, Dantravius McNeil.
What kind of person is this?
The kind of person that don't need to be around other people.
He's normally a real tough guy on Facebook. Take a look. He likes to show off his muscles. 4 days earlier, Dantravius had posted a selfie with Katie on Facebook. Look at all the hearts. Now look at this. One of Katie's friends calls Dantravius on Facebook a murderer.
It always bothers us when one of our citizens lose their life, unnecessarily and senselessly, especially when it probably could have been avoided and prevented. It frustrates us. It does anger us at times.
He likes to be called Danny, and he's been in trouble since he was a teenager, charged with sexual assault of a child when he was 19. Then harassment, running from the cops, more than once. Then a long history of attacking women. That led to this ugly day in Baytown.
Why do they allow people like that on the streets? Why are they out there being able to kill and hurt other innocent people?
This whole thing is insane. That should have never happened.
Aisha Ahmad didn't know about the carnage in Baytown until we told her. But she did know Dantravius McNeil. She was his first girlfriend he was convicted of beating up.
So he liked to go for the head. So I know I've blacked out before. He threw me around a lot, but most of it was punching. He's definitely broken my nose. Blood was everywhere. But when they looked at me, they were like, oh my God.
A few years later, Danny Boy was charged with his second domestic assault, this time striking a woman named Anna Barrett. Kim Ogg was now the district attorney, the woman who promised to protect women like Anna and Aisha. Dantravius could have been sent to prison for 10 years that time, but instead Kim Ogg's office agreed to give him a get-out-of-jail-free card, deferred adjudication. No trial, just a sweet deal.
No, they should not do that. This is domestic violence.
So what kind of message do you suppose that sends to victims of domestic violence? Here's a guy who's already been convicted of beating up women at least twice, but what we tell him is, hey, just don't do it again. Are you kidding me?
Are you getting points for getting convictions? Does that count for a conviction? Agree? Or you don't want to go to court? What's the point? What's the problem here? You don't want to put in the work? What's the problem? This is not cool.
6 months later, Danny did it again. What a shock. He could have been sent to prison for 20 years this time. Instead, Kim Ogg's office agreed to a plea deal, a small fraction of the time. So Danny was free to find another girlfriend, another victim.
I didn't know he had a history of abuse like that. So had I known that, the whole family says we'd have made our sister get away from him.
Now it's too late. But are we really surprised this history of domestic violence ended this way?
You know, it's always frustrating to us when we have cases where people are out on bond or they're out on deferred or something like that, and something tragic winds up happening. Because, you know, you wind up scratching your head and asking yourself, could this have been prevented?
It's their fault. It's their fault. They literally put a killer on the street. Literally.
Katie Houck can't just be another number, but the numbers do prove Kim Ogg has failed victims of domestic violence.
I feel like they do not respect us. There's no respect.
In February, we started documenting the carnage caused by this soft-on-crime justice. Almost 3,400 perpetrators of domestic violence, nearly 3,400, had already gotten a get-out-of-jail-free card since Kim Ogg took office just on domestic violence. 45% of them have already broken their promise.
And I'm proud to continue my family's Texas tradition of fighting for and giving a voice to crime victims.
Kim Ogg is running for re-election hoping you don't look at the facts, but we did. Since February of this year, another 333 perpetrators of family violence got that same get-out-of-jail-free card.
Do your job and fix this problem. Take him off the streets.
It's too late for Katie.
Something's wrong. He shouldn't be out there. How many convictions does it take to keep somebody in jail?
Away.
Yeah.
Aisha, she knew this would happen.
Unacceptable. That's unacceptable. No.